Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Chris Flaherty and Robert Paris, Peter Brown with the weather, Gretchen Carey with the community calendar, Anthony Matos with sports, and Marge McDonald-Yetman with the senior news report. Thank you for joining us. A case of the COVID-19 Omicron variant has been found in Middlesex County. The Mass Department of Public Health announced on Saturday that generic sequencing has identified the COVID-19 Omicron for the first time in a case in Massachusetts. The individual is a female in her 20s and a resident of Middlesex County who traveled out of state. She is fully vaccinated, has experienced mild disease, and did not require hospitalization. While Omicron is classified by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the World Health Organization as a variant of concern, scientists are still working to determine how it may compare with the predominant Delta variant in terms of transmissibility and disease severity, medical officials say. There is some limited evidence that Omicron could be more transmissible than other COVID virus variants, including Delta. This variant is being monitored closely by public health authorities around the world. The following is unknown about Omicron at this time: whether or not it causes more or less serious illness, whether or not it has decreased efficacy to vaccines, and whether or not there is decreased efficacy to monoclonal antibody treatment. Data shows that unvaccinated individuals are more likely to get COVID-19 than vaccinated individuals. A post on the Burlington Community Facebook page has caused some residents concern regarding a man who lists himself as a Santa for hire. The post is a link to a Boston 25 news report regarding Dracut resident Joseph Bass, 80 years old, who lists himself as Santa for hire and is registered as a level 2 sex offender who was found guilty in Palm Beach, Florida in 2007 for sending a minor harmful information. The person who made the post said they had read that Bass is or was employed as Santa at the Burlington Mall. BNews reached out to Simon Properties, owner of the Burlington Mall, to ask if Bass is or ever had been employed as Santa. They referred us to Cherry Hill Programs, the entity that coordinates and manages the Santa photo program. In a statement, Cherry Hills said Bass has never been an employee. The Santa in question is not employed by Cherry Hill, nor has he ever been employed by Cherry Hill Programs. We can assure our guests that every staff member prior to employment is required to undergo an extensive application process that includes a thorough background check. Once a team member is employed, they are required to participate in training and development that prepares them to bring the Santa magic to life for families and friends. According to a spokesperson, Simon Malls and Cherry Hill Programs have worked together for about 20 years. Excuse me. A well-known and beloved veteran, longtime business owner in Burlington, has passed away. Angelo M Marino, owner of one of the oldest businesses in Burlington, Mirandi's Barbershop, passed away peacefully in his home with all his family at his bedside on Wednesday, December 1st, at the age of 90. Sonny was born in Woburn, the son of Rosalie Carbone and an Italian immigrant, Joseph Morandi. He grew up and was educated in Burlington and Woburn. He started working at a young age on different farms in town and at his uncle's market, and later at the First National Supermarkets in Winchester. That is where he met the love of his life and future wife, Genevieve Jen Zafina. Sonny married his childhood sweetheart in February of '53 and entered the military the next month, meaning their first year of marriage was spent living in Germany as part of the Army occupation forces during the Korean War. He was a private first class and was a member of the Big Red 1, company of the 26th Infantry Regiment. Following his military service, Sonny worked as a truck driver for a time before getting his barber's license and going to work with his dad at his shop on Montvale Avenue in Woburn. It was tight quarters there, so in 1960 he started his own shop, Mirandi's Barbershop, on the corner of Wynn Street and Mountain Road in Burlington. Sonny and the barbershop have been a fixture in the community ever since. He was working regularly until the age of 88. He cut some families here for 4 or 5 generations. He knew all of his customers' families, where they worked, was confident, was a confidant, could tell a great story or joke, and top it off, he gave you a great haircut, myself included. He will be missed, and our condolences to his family. You can find a link to his full obituary on our website at bcattv.org/obituaries. The new Highway Division building on Great Meadow Road is coming along and set to be finished on time. BNEWS Director Rich Hosford went to check it out and files this report.
Anyone who has been down Great Meadow Road recently has likely seen a great deal of progress being made at the Department of Public Works Highway Division building. The $15.5 million project is slated to be finished next year. For an update on how the project is coming along, I met up with DPW Director John Sanchez, who said things are on schedule.
Yeah, this has been a pretty good year since the contractor got started on this project. They're advancing pretty well. We hope to still meet the deadlines that we had in the contract for summer of 2022.
Sanchez said the new building will be a big upgrade over what they had before.
Well, there's absolutely no comparison whatsoever. The only thing I'll say that is similar to the old building is the setbacks. You know, we're probably as close to the road as we were in the older facility, but when you're looking right behind me, it's already much larger than what we used to have for use, and obviously conditions as well.
One goal of the project was to have a building big enough to house all of the town's equipment to better protect it from the elements.
This building is going to allow us to keep all the snow and ice equipment indoors, including all the plows, snow blowers, etc. I mean, currently, as we had operated over the last 20 plus years, we have to come in literally in the cold, sometimes in the snow, to actually mount plows, work with sanders, etc., before we actually be able to go out and do any work. This is going to allow us to do that inside a building, which the trucks will be ready to go. They'll be warm. They'll be at least 50 degrees, so they will start, which is a big thing when you have to go and do a snow plowing or sanding. And it's a much easier and faster activity to do before the storm.
There will also be a shop for employees to work on equipment, better office space, and a workable break room for taking some downtime between snow events.
This is going to be a state-of-the-art shop. We'll be able to have our hydrants and valves and different parts that we need for the work that we do. Also behind us is going to be the highway shop that we use for carpentry and signs. You know, again, in the old building, they sort of created a mezzanine, and somehow that's where they worked out of. This is going to allow us to actually have proper tools and a proper place to work from. As we work around, and there to my right, it's going to have all the new facilities for the employees, from the offices for the superintendent and foreman, all the way to an area for gathering in the morning as well as training, which is, again, we never had anything like that before, and now we're going to be able to have that for our employees.
From the under construction Highway Division building, I'm BNews Director Rich Hosford.
In other DPW news, now that the winter weather is here, we could be in store for some snow. Director Sanchez explains why it might take his department longer than normal to clear all streets. BNews Director Rich Hosford has this.
With the first snow with accumulation expected to fall Wednesday evening in the Burlington area, DPW Director John Sanchez has a plea for residents. Please be patient. Like the shortage of drivers for waste removal that is delaying the pickup of yard waste, the town is facing a deficit of plow drivers.
And what we're seeing this year that is different than years prior is that inability to get drivers in trucks. I mean, this is a nationwide problem that we've been seeing and we've been following up since the pandemic started, and Burlington is no exception. So we lost a few contractors. Some retired, some no longer want to do this type of work. So we lost about 20% of the private fleet that we had until last year. So it's going to be a little harder. It's going to take a little longer to get the work done. I mean, we will get it done. The only difference that you may experience and the residents may experience is that if you happen to live in an area away from a main road, it may take a little longer to get to you. We're going to do all the roads. You know, we'll always take care of it. But please bear with us if we haven't been there by the time you do your driveway and we happen to be going through your neighborhood after the fact. It may be a windrow left behind. There's really nothing we can do about it. It's just the nature of the beast and the problems we're dealing now with manpower.
Sanchez said the town has been doing all it can to get new drivers.
We've done quite a few things this year. I mean, obviously, we're trying to recruit people, which we typically do. We also changed the rates that we pay our contractors to make it more attractive. We just don't believe they are out there. I mean, every community is having the same problem. I mean, you can go to Lexington, Bedford, things. I mean, you name it. All our colleagues, they're all having the same problem.
Finally, residents can help the DPW out by clearing any roadside items you may have at your home.
So last thing, as we do every year, I would like to remind our residents to please remove everything that they may have on the roads, whether they are hoops, ramps, fences that may be on the road, things like that typically during the year, particularly in the small neighborhoods, people keep near the road so they can play, etc. This is the time of the year we ask everybody, please move it away from the road. As the trucks come in, at night particularly, they're not going to be able to see if there's a basketball hoop overhanging into the road. So please remove all of that from the edges of the road so they will not be damaged.
From the DPW Highway Division, I'm BNEWS Director Rich Hosford.
Teriyaki Madness will be opening at the Burlington Marketplace Plaza at 68 Mall Road in the former Upper Crust space. The Asian-inspired, Denver-based chain offers a variety of wok-fired teriyaki bowls featuring your choice of meats and vegetables, along with egg rolls, pot stickers, crab rangoon, and sides of noodle or rice. According to the website, Teriyaki Madness promises no gut bombs. Teriyaki Madness is a popular franchise throughout the country, and its Burlington location will not only be the first in Massachusetts, but in New England. No opening date has yet been announced. The town common was packed with kids and families ready to see Santa Claus once again with the return of the tree lighting ceremony put on by the Parks and Recreation Department after it was put on hiatus last year due to the pandemic. BNews reporter Chris Flaherty was there.
The holiday season has officially kicked off in Burlington. On Sunday, December 5th, Parks and Recreation lit up the night sky around the town common for the annual tree lighting ceremony. It was a festive evening full of games, music, and a visit from Santa Claus himself. This was another step back towards normalcy for the Burlington community after the tree lighting went on hiatus last year as a result of the pandemic.
This year, things have opened up a little bit more, and I think our program staff has done a tremendous job reimagining some of our special events and always bringing in new stuff. And our maintenance staff is picked up right where they left off and helping the program staff get things ready for special events. So the team effort is tremendous.
The holidays are the time of year to gather with friends and family, a key aspect of the tree lighting and all Parks and Recreation special events.
Seeing people get together, and especially in a year or two where we haven't gotten to be with our families that much, especially those that don't live around us, that's the best part. It's really great to see people happy together, making memories.
Stay tuned to BCAT for our full coverage of this year's tree lighting ceremony, hosted by BNews meteorologist Peter Brown and yours truly. Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNews Weekly, wishing you a safe and happy holiday season.
The Burlington Police Department will have 2 new tactical medical kits thanks to a generous donation from a Burlington resident. Town Administrator Paul Sagarino said at the latest Select Board meeting that Dr. Richard Lewis, a local dentist, donated $1,500 to the town to be used for additional public safety training or equipment. Sagarino said they have decided to use the donation for 2 additional tactical medical kits for police cruisers. They are special medical kits that can handle mass casualty incidents, and the police department has been working to transition to these types of units. Dr. Lewis, now retired, has lived and worked in the Burlington community for over 40 years. Mass residents are encouraged to plan ahead for the shutdown of 3G cellular networks. The federal government and cellular providers have announced that older phones and devices will drop calls and data functions, including the ability to contact emergency services. The Executive Office of Public Safety and Security is supporting efforts by carriers and the federal government to raise awareness about plans by major cellular providers to phase out 3G coverage beginning in early 2022. Residents and businesses who rely on older technology are encouraged to plan for the potential loss of cell and data functions, specifically the availability to contact 911. Mobile carriers are retiring 3G technology to add bandwidth for faster and more reliable network services such as 5G. The decommissioning effort is underway and 3G coverage is already being phased out. The FCC urges consumers with phones older than iPhone 6 or Samsung Galaxy S4 to contact their local mobile carrier or visit their carrier's website to determine if a new device or software upgrade is necessary. This is the timeline of the phase-out. AT&T will retire 3G services in February. T-Mobile Sprint will finalize 3G shutdown on March 31st, and Verizon will sunset 3G by the end of 2022. This could be a conspiracy for you to buy new phones. Only kidding, of course. We go now to BNEWS weatherman Peter Brown for the latest forecast. We'll also check out the community calendar with Gretchen Carey to see what's happening in Burlington.
Well, hello everyone. This is Peter Brown. Look at your weather for the next 7 days. I know it's hard to believe here we are heading into the middle of December. I hope you all had a great time at the Burlington tree lighting ceremony this past Sunday. We had some great conditions out there, a little chilly, but just perfect. Now, as we start out our period on Friday, we should be seeing temperatures at this time of the year only in the mid-40s, and that's pretty much where we're going to be. We're going to be a little bit chilly as we start off our period, but then we're going to be looking actually for a fairly significant warm-up as we head into the weekend. Unfortunately, that's going to bring with it the chance of some rain, but temperatures way up into the 50s to near 60. So if you have to get out there and get any errands done on Saturday, that's probably going to be your day. Even though it's going to be rainy out there, it is going to be warm. Now, as we get into the rest of the period, we're probably going to be seeing our temperatures coming back down to about average at this time of the year, into the upper 30s to around 40. But it doesn't look like we're going to be having any chances of heavy snow coming up. As we get towards the end of the period, we should be seeing temperatures at this time of the year only in the low 40s, and it looks like by that point, we may be looking at a nice warm-up again going into next weekend. And of course, we are just about at the shortest that the days get for this time of the year, so a couple of weeks, our days will start to be getting longer again, so that is some great news. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us here in the Burlington area in terms of temperatures and precipitation over the next 7 to 10 days. And again, this is something that I see as no surprise looking at the temperature graphics. Looks like they're expecting pretty good chances of above average temperatures, and that's what I'm seeing as well. When we take a look at the precipitation chances, they're calling for us to have a rather significant chance of below average precipitation. I'm not sure if that's going to quite pan out, as we're going to have a couple of days of rain with then some mixed snow showers by the time we get to Monday, so we'll have to see if that holds true. But all in all, really not too bad as we head into the heart of December. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at that weather coming up again for the next 7 days. And again, starting out on Friday here, we may see the chance of some spot showers and some flurries out there, kind of cool. Temperatures only in the upper 30s to around 40, but as we get into the latter portions of the day, we're going to see our temperatures start to rise, and by the time we get into Saturday, again, unfortunately, cloudy skies out there with off and on rain, but temperatures well up in the 50s to near 60. Now, our temperatures will begin to slide a little bit as we get into Sunday, as a cold front starts to approach. As again, a little bit rainy out there, and temperatures going back down into the probably mid-40s. And as we head into Monday, we may see some flurries as that storm system exits our area, with our temperatures going back down into the upper 30s to around 40. Looks like then, after that, looks like we have some really dry conditions coming up, pretty much wall-to-wall sunshine and average temperatures. And again, by the time we get to the end of the period, it looks like we'll be getting up into the mid to upper 40s, maybe to near 50 again. So maybe another warm-up coming. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
It's flu season. You're probably planning to get your kids their flu shots, but remember to get yours too. Vaccinating your family is the best way to protect you and your kids from the flu. Protect yourself. Protect your family. Get your flu shot today.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your community calendar. On December 17th at 7 p.m., the Made in Burlington store will be having an event called Make Your Own Dangle Earrings. Go to the following website to sign up. On December 18th from 2 to 4 p.m., Burlington Affordable Housing is holding an open house for the fully renovated 3-bedroom single family at 117 South Bedford Street. For more information, go to the following website. On December 19th at 6 p.m., the Burlington Church of Christ will be having a Christmas candlelight service. Everyone is welcome at the event. More information is available at burlingtonchurch.com. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your community calendar.
The winter sports season is starting up, and for all the latest, we go now to BNews Sports reporter Anthony Matos for this week's sports report.
Hey everyone, I'm Anthony Matos, and this is your weekly sports report. Some winter sports teams have already begun their season with some scrimmages. We have the scoop on how they did when we look ahead to the regular season games. Boys basketball had their first game of the year against the Drake Middies in a scrimmage matchup on December 3rd. The Red Devils took home the 62-57 win. Burlington then headed to Crozier Fieldhouse on December 7th to face the Scarlet Knights at North Andover High School. As for the score, head coach Phil Connors told BNews Sports that they will reset the scores after each quarters. They will travel to Lawrence for another matchup on December 10th, and then start the regular season on December 14th against the Stoneham Spartans at BHS. Girls varsity basketball headed to Hamilton Renham in a scrimmage game on December 4th at Burlington High School, and will have another scrimmage game against Linfield on December 9th. Burlington starts the regular season on the 14th, where they will face the Stoneham Spartans at home. Girls ice hockey will begin their season on December 15th, where they host Winchester High School at the Ice Palace. Boys ice hockey headed to Waltham High School to face the Hawks in a scrimmage game on December 5th. The team lost 1-0 as the Hawks got a goal at the end of the second period. The Red Devils had another scrimmage game on December 8th at the Ice Palace, where they hosted Westford Academy. Burlington tied their opponent 3-3. They will have two more scrimmage games against Billerica and Massacomet before the season kickoff on December 15th against Winchester. BNews Sports reporter Robert Paris headed down to chat with the girls' gymnastics team on how they're coming back from an undefeated season last winter. He has a report on how they were preparing.
It is time to do a flip, because girls' gymnastics are back in full for the 2022 season.
So it was pretty exciting last season to have a team go undefeated, and we're very happy to have most athletes back this year. So we're hoping for a really strong season. We have an addition of a new freshman who will be very helpful on all four events. We have the return of a senior captain who we're looking forward to having compete again. So, it's a lot of pressure because it was a tough win, but we made it through, and we're just really hoping to continue that pace.
In the off-season, the team had to deal with the departure of some of their athletes.
We lost a couple key players, but we're hoping that the new additions take up that space. We did lose some strong vaulters and floor competitors and bar competitors, but we will work hard to make that up.
Burlington is trying to repeat last season.
In gymnastics, we would love to go undefeated, but one of the goals that we have is to always get a better score each meet. So if we can beat our scores and raise that score and qualify for postseason, that would be great. We'd love to see some individuals at states. We'd love to make it to sectionals and just continually beat our score.
Senior captain Gabby Gillis and Coach Gillis are glad the team can come together again.
So last year was definitely really hard with not being able to have everybody in practices together and not having those team dinners. So it's going to be really good to get that bond back. It's really good to be back with the team all together and to be able to have everybody watching us and really giving us the motivation through each meet.
I'm most looking forward to watching how these girls develop. Right now in practice, it's always hard to see what everyone can do. So I'm most excited for seeing their routines and watching them improve.
From Burlington High School, I'm Robert Paris for BNews Sports.
Burlington will begin the season on January 4th when they host the Reading Memorial High School at the Burlington High School Rubber Gym. Boys gymnastics will return with their alumni meet on December 23rd at 6 p.m. inside the BHS gymnastics area at the Rubber Gym. Come support the present and past athletes. The team will begin the regular season on January 7th, where they will host Lowell High School. Girls indoor track had a scrimmage on December 8th in Woburn. Head coach Jess McCarthy told B News that they do not keep the scores. However, she said the freshmen had a great performance all around. Boys indoor track will head to the Massachusetts State Track Coaches Association Winter Festival on December 11th at Reggie Lewis Track and Athletic Center. They will be competing against Wachusett Regional High School. Both track teams will begin the regular season on December 15th at Boston University Track and Tennis Center against the Wilmington Wildcats. Boys swimming are taking on Melrose High School in their first in-person meet of the season on December 9th. As this taping, the meet is underway. Boys wrestling will begin the season on December 11th. They'll take on Tingsboro at Burlington High School. You can check out all the winter schedules at arborlive.com and type in Burlington High School. For more Red Devil action, go to the BNews Sports section at bcattv.org/sports and check out our Twitter page at BNews Sports. That's all for your sports report. I'm Anthony Matos. Back to you guys in the studio.
In the latest senior news, Council on Aging Director Marge McDonald Yetman talks about maintaining mental health during the holiday season and all the activities happening at the Senior Center. Let's have a look.
Hello and happy holidays. I want to start by reminding everyone that December and the holidays can be hard in a good year, and this is by no means a good year. Better than last year, but not what we're used to. A certain amount of the blues or sadness is completely normal this time of year. But if it gets in the way of you being able to do normal activities, or if you feel like you want to harm yourself, please reach out to someone. It could be a good friend, someone at your place of worship, the Senior Center staff. If you think you might harm yourself, call 911 or the Samaritans at 877-870-4673, which spells HOPE. Come January, if you still aren't feeling better, let your doctor know. On Tuesday, December 14th, we are having a presentation on Medicare fraud. You must sign up in advance if you plan to attend in person. We will be sending out an email with the link if you would rather join via WebEx. Delvina Theater Company will be here with a reading of A Christmas Carol with dinner supplied afterwards by Stonebridge on Wednesday, December 15th. You must sign up in advance to attend by calling the office after 12 on Monday. On the 16th, we have our annual police dinner. Again, you must call in advance to attend, and spots will be more limited than usual in order to be able to have some social distancing. On Wednesday, December 22nd, our pizza and a movie will be The Muppets: A Christmas Carol. Please make sure you call before noon on the day of so we know we will have enough pizza. The movie will also be shown on Monday, the 20th at 12:30 for those that don't want or can't make the evening time slot. On Wednesday, the 29th, we'll have a New Year's toast to send out the old and bring in the new year. The New Orleans Jazz Band will be here on the 13th, but not the 27th as previously stated. They will be here Wednesday, January 5th at noon for their regularly scheduled Wednesday of the month. The Knitwits are looking for new participants. Come knit or crochet and chat while you do so. The Knitwits use our yarn to make lap robes for delivery to nursing homes for the holidays. Learn a new skill or practice the one you already have and make someone smile next holiday season. That's all for now. I hope to see you at the Senior Center.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo features the kind of interaction with backyard wildlife you would expect from a Disney movie. It was sent in by Sal Mirabella and shows a gray squirrel stretching to reach a leaf being held by 10-year-old Dominic. He's not sure why the squirrel is so interested in the leaf, but he sure is going for it. Thanks for the photo, Sal. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of your winter activities, a family trip, or just everyday moments, whatever you think is interesting and want to share. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. Also, remember to stick around after the news for the latest Burlington Public Schools update for all the latest education news. And that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Robert Paris and Chris Flaherty, Peter Brown with the weather, Anthony Matos with sports, Gretchen Carey with the community calendar, and Marjorie McDonald Yetman with senior news. Thank you for joining us.